by popular demand to Jordan's dismay.
Oh my gosh. This makes me so angry.
Jordan does not understand the community of reactions or watching other people watch or do other things.
I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me because I'm just like, it's just us in the corner reacting to videos. I was like, why is this our highest watched video? Like, it's so dumb.
And as far as reacts videos go, like, I feel like it was fairly subpar. We didn't like cut through to get like our highlight reactions or anything, which we'll see about doing that this time. But
I am actually like aggravated every time I look at our page and I see how many we have. I'm just like, this is the dumbest thing ever. Why is this? But people like it, and we're here to please, and we want you to subscribe. So subscribe to us if you want more of this, and like this video, and leave a really...
Do it so we can put Jordan through more punishment.
And read and write a really stupid comment that really doesn't pertain to the video at all. Because that has happened, where I'm just like, why are you writing
That's
this?
how she'll know.
It's so stupid. Yeah, just do that and make fun of my hair or something. All right, so we are here for round 2 of pitch meeting videos. Our manager has once again picked them out. She is ecstatic that we're doing this because she loves pitch meetings so much. So I haven't seen any of these. Connor, you haven't seen any of these?
I might have seen, so we're starting with Endgame. I might have seen that one, but it's been a while. I don't remember.
And there was one person in the comments. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
One person in the comments was like, oh, it would have been better if you guys had seen it. Okay, fine. You win. We've seen Endgame, so here you go. We made the one dissenter happy.
Very exciting. So we're gonna start off with Hawkeye with his family, but they all get dusted. Oh my god. And then we go up into space and check in on Tony and Nebula. Oh my god, oh my god. Do you think you could stop saying oh my god? Sorry, I'm just so excited. That's okay. So anyway, it seems like Tony is about to die because he's out of oxygen and food. Oh my god. Sir? Sorry. But then Captain Marvel shows up and saves him because she's working with the Avengers now. Oh, Captain Marvel, huh? So we're gonna show her meeting them and stuff? No, I mean, we already had the post-credit scene in Infinity War and the post-credit scene in Captain Marvel, so I feel like people know how she got there. But what if people haven't seen those movies? I mean... I'm just kidding. This is the world's most expensive TV show.
So this is the thing, though, and he's hitting on a very important point where Marvel's gone wrong, is that they've included all of these TV series where you now need more and more context to watch a Marvel movie.
You are wrong. There are no TV shows that he is speaking of here.
Not here. I agree. Not here. I'm just saying that he's hitting on almost a future point of like they're starting to get into that.
Kind of. I mean, he's talking about movies though.
Right. But what I'm trying to say is, though, Marvel continue to go down that path of you have to see all these different things. I agree with you. He's not.
Yeah, well, I mean, to watch Endgame, you would have had to have watched all the other superhero movies that came before it that led up to it.
Right. I'm just
saying
saying
they were already doing that. But yeah,
right.
they took it from just big screen media to small screen at home TV shows.
Right. And that's what I'm saying is that like they almost expanded the universe. And honestly, it would have been fine if they expanded it if the movies were actually good. But they're not, which you can watch in another episode that we've done. But that reminded me of how bad MCU is getting, where you need way too much context to watch a movie.
So I partially disagree. Mm-hmm. The only reason I disagree is I think where they went wrong was in the TV shows if they included like crucial points. So for instance, the Loki TV show, we get introduced to Kang the Conqueror, who's going to be in this next phase of Avengers. Well, I mean, we've already seen him in the Ant-Man movie, if anybody's seen that. I'm waiting for it to just show up in my house because I don't want to go to the theater. But I think if the TV show stuck to just providing extra content on characters that are not like your big 3 characters, I'm totally good with that.
Okay.
I don't know that they could devote a bunch of movies to explore Loki. Or Moon Knight or Daredevil or any of them.
I liked Moon Knight.
At least not yet. And I loved Daredevil. I haven't watched the Moon Knight series yet. But I think if they started including like critical plot points in the TV shows to make sense with what's going on in the movies, then I agree with you. I think that's a mistake because not everybody has time to binge through multiple seasons.
Fair. I just feel like, at least I'm trying to remember correctly with WandaVision and Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, where it did.
Where did you leave Wanda off in the movies versus the TV show?
Yeah, because the TV show was kind of I acknowledge I didn't watch it, but I remember one of the biggest issues with it was the plot point with Wanda,
Yes.
with her kids, and then you get into the Doctor Strange world, and it's almost like it's changed. Where like
it totally flipped.
Yeah, where I'm saying that I think that's where I agree with you. I think you're correct.
I think if you took the TV show out in this case, I think that going from Wanda's last movie to the Doctor Strange actually probably makes more sense, because you would leave her from grief stricken when Vision was taken,
right, and that's
and then
yeah.
Well, and then she vanished.
Right.
For years. So she comes back years later, and everybody else comes back because they save them, but Vision's not coming back, and so you leave her grief stricken there. I think
that
her story actually makes more sense if you take her subplot TV series out, because the TV series was great. It had her go through the stages of grief.
Yeah, no, I
create
heard it was
alternate
good.
Reality. Yeah, no, that was that one, and I've heard Moon Knight's really good, but it seems that Loki, WandaVision, and Moon Knight are probably the three best of the shows that they put out.
Okay.
But what just absolutely killed Wanda's character is that in the show they had her deal with her PTSD and her grief and everything from losing Vision and not being able to have these kids. So she, I think if I remember correctly, it started off with her creating an alternate reality out of real people and things. Like she took over a town and changed everybody against their wills to fit her own story. But part of it seemed to be done out of a PTSD, and this is what happens when you have superpowers, I guess.
Yeah.
But by the end of it, she's relinquished that. She's working through her grief. She frees everybody. She accepts the reality. And then we get her in Doctor Strange, and she gets hold of the Darkhold book, and now she's just playing evil, ready to kill another Wanda and take her kids type of stuff. Like, what? And this was another big plot point for me with that whole thing. All right, so just like Thanos being like, I have to kill, there's not enough resources. I need to wipe out half of the universe's population, when he had a gauntlet that could have doubled the resources. And I'm sure there's some nerds out there that will really go hard against why that wouldn't work.
Maybe we'll get
they might talk about it here. But similarly, for Wanda, she's like looking basically like, I need to find a world with these kids that are real, and I'm going to be their mother. I'm going to take their place. Basically, I'm going to kill their mother. I'm going to take these kids. Why didn't she go find a universe? Because there's supposedly unlimited ones. She could have went and found a universe or a few where Wanda died and left her poor kids to be adopted, and she could have like stepped into their life. Like totally could have done it. So these are things that I feel like Marvel hasn't addressed.
Yeah,
and irritate me.
I think that's what happens when you try to build a world that's just almost a little bit too big.
It's lacking rules.
Yeah, and I think they've broken so many that it's getting messy.
Yeah. Like the gauntlet you could make a simple rule that it can't create, but it could destroy.
Yeah.
Now that probably flies in the face of some of the Infinity Stones or whatever, but I mean there should be. You have to invite more rules. When you don't have enough rules, things become uninteresting.
Yeah, I think you're correct on that. I
or
think
they just start to crumble.
Points. Yeah, no, good points overall. Good points.
But we're only 48 seconds into this, so here we go.
Okay, what happens next? Well, Captain Marvel's gonna be like, I'm very busy now, and peace out. Pretty rude. And then a rat is gonna set Ant-Man free from the quantum realm, which is gonna be the key to saving everyone. Oh, life-saving rats are tight. Yeah, so it turns out Ant-Man was in the quantum realm for 5 years, but to him it felt like 5 hours. Oh, very cool. Yeah, so he goes to see the Avengers, and he's like, hey, time is weird, right? Maybe that's something we can look into. Okay. So they go see Tony, but he has a daughter now, and he's like, time travel's impossible, and this is dumb, and no thank you. Oh, Tony has a daughter. Yeah, she's real adorable. She tells him, I love you 3000. Oh, does she think he's the lead singer of Outkast? No, it's just a cute thing she says. Oh, okay. Anyway, so Tony's gonna end up changing his mind about helping them, so then he has to figure out time travel. But he says it's a anyway, then they break off into teams and explore a bunch of old Marvel movies. Oh, it's like fan service the movie. Exactly. It's gonna be great. Like Rocket and Thor are gonna go to Asgard.
I had an issue with the plot for Avengers Endgame is that like somehow Tony's like able to figure it out in like 2 seconds.
Oh, he's the time travel, which he hasn't attempted to before.
Right. And he's like, oh wow, this it's suddenly worked. Anyway, that just really bothered me. Continue.
And some other Avengers are gonna go to the Battle of New York.
Right, there should be 3 stones in New York at that time.
Exactly, but then Loki's gonna manage to grab the Tesseract and disappear.
Oh, where does he go?
Into a spin-off TV show.
Fantastic.
Also, Black Widow and Hawkeye go to Vormir, so they have to do that whole sacrifice that which you love thing for the Soul Stone.
Oh, interesting move.
Yeah, so then it's time for a big final fight. Things are gonna get real.
Oh boy.
But first, Thor uses lightning to braid his beard real quick.
What?
And then the fighting begins.
Oh boy.
So it's gonna be this awesome showdown. Like Cap is gonna use Mjolnir.
Wow.
And then there's just Cap barely standing up, but he's facing down Thanos' army.
Oh, there's gonna be a big disposable CGI army?
Of course, this is an Avengers movie.
I love it.
And just when it seems like all hope is lost, Doctor Strange opens up a portal and Black Panther walks through.
Oh, Black Panther, huh? What does he do?
He goes, Bombay.
Oh, he loves saying that.
Yeah, and then all the heroes are gonna have these slow, dramatic entrances through all the portals.
Wow, nice of Thanos to not attack as everyone enters.
Yeah, he definitely lets them have a moment.
Very considerate.
So then it's gonna be a massive fight. It's gonna be like boom, 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 pow, pow, pow.
That sounds great. I like the sound of that.
And while all the fighting is happening, they need to get the gauntlet into this time travel van to put all the stones back in their proper places.
Okay.
And at a certain point, all the female heroes are gonna land in the same spot to protect the gauntlet.
Wow, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be badass.
I bet it will.
There's
Why
so
did
much
they do
to
that,
discuss
though?
here.
To protect the
I
gauntlet.
know.
Right, okay,
I
but why did
know.
all the female heroes land in the same spot at the same time? Did they plan that, like through their communicators?
No, of course not. That's silly.
So it's a coincidence then? It just so happens that all the female characters and only the female characters all did that simultaneously?
I mean, I wouldn't call it a coincidence either.
Don't get me wrong, it sounds awesome. I'm just trying to understand how and why something like that would happen on a massive battlefield.
Well, here's the thing. It's gonna be a very cool scene, so I need you to get all the way off my back about the logistics.
Oh, okay, I'll do that.
Great. So anyway, then Captain Marvel and the gang have to get this gauntlet to the van.
Captain Marvel has the gauntlet. Why doesn't she put it on and turn all the bad guys to dust?
Because.
Fair enough.
And then Thanos is gonna end up getting his hands on the gauntlet.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and then Doctor Strange looks at Tony and does this.
So he's telling him that it's time for that Ant-Man and Thanos' butt theory?
Oh my god, no. He's telling Tony this is the 1 in 14 million chance.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So Tony
Okay, so
manages
hang
to
on.
grab all the stones.
There was just so many coincidences that happened in the plot to make this all happen. Like it's a little bit. That's the thing, when you watch a Marvel movie, you're like, you have to suspend belief. Unlike a DC movie, where I feel like it is much more, for a superhero movie, like I feel like it's more realistic. But
Yeah, some of them are a bit more grounded.
yeah, but with this one, like, so many different things had to happen just right. Like the rat just happens to land on that, and
I mean, it did take the rat 5 years.
to be fair, yes, it did. It did. And then Tony's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna try this on the first try." Oh wow, it worked on the first try. And then he'd have everybody like dramatically, coming in, and then,
The dramatic slow entrances and the female charge were probably the most frustrating parts of it. Also, Captain Marvel like flying through Thanos' mothership and just blowing it up by herself.
yeah,
Like they overpowered her so much. She's in the same realm as Superman, where it just doesn't make sense. And so power scaling Captain Marvel in this instance, because they made her so much more powerful, it just doesn't make sense to me when they have the less powerful heroes going up against Thanos and even holding any ground, and then they have her come through and she's just wiping the floor with people. Granted, she did technically lose her fight to Thanos, but he did take advantage of one of the stones. I think it was the Power Stone
yeah.
when he took her out.
Well, that was the issue that Marvel, the MCU, was running into, was that Captain Marvel just was not a popular character, at least for
And
the
they shoehorned her into the story like at the last minute. She is the last or second to last movie just before we got into the Thanos.
And she was such a
movies.
Mary Sue, where like she was just kind of almost a little bit too perfect, just kind of, like, can do no wrong type character. And so people don't really want to see that. They want to see a character arc. And
I want to see him struggle.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's why, again, when we did that episode on ranking the Marvel movies, I liked Iron Man so much because I felt like he had a good character arc overall compared to the other ones. But they had to put her in there, but they couldn't have her win because no one liked the character that much. And so they had to find some way to put her in. That's why they're like, oh, I have other galaxies to go to. And all the audience knew it's because Captain Marvel tanked. And it's because you don't actually want her in the meat of this movie at all.
I don't think she was necessary for those movies. They should have brought her in, I think, afterwards. I think after after
Yeah, I can
Endgame
see
and stuff
that.
like that. Because the thing is, like, their female champions before was Scarlet Witch and Black Widow, and I'm gonna butcher her name, I think, Kuye from Black Panther, and Shuri. So it's like they had their grouping, and then Pepper Potts, like they had their grouping
Right.
of female heroes, and I didn't understand them bringing Captain Marvel in at the 11th hour compared to everybody else. Like every other primary hero got multiple movies, except for Black Widow, because and Hawkeye, they deserved movies and they didn't get any. And of course, they did the Black Widow movie after she was dead. About the time, I believe it was the period in between. Why am I forgetting? What was the first part? Avengers Infinity War. So they did Black Widow between Infinity War and Endgame, I believe, or it was before. Honestly, it's a little bit foggy to me at this point. But yeah, it's Captain Marvel just really felt shoehorned into it. Like Spider-Man had more
Kinda like an
screen time in
afterthought.
movies. Yeah, she was. She showed up and became a prominent Marvel character after DC had released Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman did so well.
Yeah, I mean, Wonder Woman was I thought Wonder Woman was such a good movie.
The first one.
First one, yes, absolutely.
Did you see the second one?
I did.
It
Terrible
was
movie.
Garbage.
The first one I thought was great, and it just showed, I think, what was a true, like, empowered woman that was not trying to be a man, and I really liked that about Wonder Woman. But with this whole feminism thing of, well, I can be a man, it just doesn't ring the same. It just doesn't, women have to tap into what makes them strong and unique. And you can't do that when you're trying to be a dude, because guys will blow you out of the water every time.
Yeah, there's something different about Wonder Woman where she was more elegant and graceful on the battlefield, but just as powerful. She has a totally different dynamic.
Yeah, because Gal is beautiful. I mean, gosh, but
yeah. Also, just a little shout out to Matt Walsh. Your take on Wonder Woman was garbage, and your opinions are shit.
The first or second one.
His entire opinion on female superheroes.
Oh, he doesn't like any of them.
No, he doesn't. Well, I mean, he's like, he doesn't get superheroes to begin with, so it's like I don't understand why he would commentate on it. It's like, I'm not big on sports, so I am the last person that you should bring in for an opinion on like football or lacrosse. I don't care.
He's kind of a Grinch type person. He has like every person out there. He has a good lane to be in. His personality does really well with him fighting transgenderism. I think he does a fantastic job at it. I think with some stuff with culture, I think he's sometimes just such a Grinch that he just doesn't understand it. And he
was complaining about her armor. He's like, her armor, it's like it doesn't even like cover her. And he's like, she's wearing a skirt into the battlefield. And I'm like,
yeah, it's a movie. Like, I don't know, man.
It's a movie. She's a superhero.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to be decked out in full armor. She's an Amazon. She has super strength. Like that part's unrealistic too. But
but like that's what.
But the armor, that doesn't make sense. Well, it also doesn't make sense that she has a magical lasso that makes you tell the truth no matter what, and she can.
Yeah, it's a
jump and
superhero
lift tanks
movie.
and
Like
stuff,
you have to suspend a little bit of belief, and Matt Walsh just can't do it.
No, he can't.
He just can't do it. So anyway, let's
Stuck
go
in the
ahead.
mud.
He's a little bit of a stick in the mud. I won't lie.
Great. So anyway, then Captain Marvel and the gang have to get this gauntlet to the van.
Captain Marvel has the gauntlet. Why doesn't she put it on and turn all the bad guys to dust?
Because.
Fair enough.
And then Thanos is going to end up getting his hands on the
better the second
gauntlet.
time.
Yeah, and then Doctor Strange looks at Tony and does this.
So he's telling him that it's time for that Ant-Man and Thanos' butt theory.
Oh my God, no. He's telling Tony this is the 1 in 14 million chance. So then Tony snaps his fingers and turns all the bad guys to dust.
And how does that work exactly? Like, how does Tony know what to do? Like, what does he do?
He just thinks really hard that he wants all the bad guys dead and then snaps his fingers.
So it has the same kind of mental logistics as like a birthday wish?
No, it's not at all like a birthday wish. Well, he just has to hope for it really hard, and Doctor Strange couldn't tell him or it wouldn't come true.
That sounds like a birthday wish.
It's not a birthday wish.
A little bit.
Anyway, so then Tony dies.
Oh, very sad.
And then Captain America has to, instead of coming back through the time machine, Cap decides to live a full life with Peggy Carter, so he ends up super old.
So he just lived a full life while Bucky was out there somewhere getting tortured?
I guess he did.
And when he kisses Sharon Carter, that's like his niece or something?
And what about when he goes, maybe we can not think about this too much and just enjoy it for what it is?
Oh,
No.
okay, that sounds good.
Great, and so that's it, Cap is old, Iron Man is dead.
Yeah. But I mean, we could go visit him whenever with the time machine, right?
I mean, yes, but, let's not do that.
I don't know, it could be a big moneymaker.
Please don't.
I'm just saying, it's possible.
I just think, it'd be nice if character deaths were permanent, It kind of takes away from their sacrifices if they pop up in other stuff.
Okay.
Do you agree?
Yep, uh-huh. I agree.
Uh,
So, you have a video series idea for me? Yes, sir, I do. So I was thinking I could make a series where a screenwriter guy pitches movies to a studio executive guy.
So just like a pitch meeting?
Yeah. Did you come up with that right before walking into this pitch meeting? You got me. I completely forgot to think of an idea before the meeting, so the meeting became the idea.
Oh,
Well,
my
okay
word, this is
then.
gonna be
So yeah, I was
meta.
thinking we could have the writer guy pitch all these questionable movie ideas, and the producer guy thinks they're all amazing.
That does sound amazing.
Yeah, and the screenwriter guy could have like a little catchphrase.
Oh, is it gonna be hard to come up with a catchphrase?
No, it's gonna be super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Oh, what's it gonna be? I just told you.
What are you talking about? The catchphrase is gonna be super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Oh my god, that is the catchphrase?
Yeah, it's actually inspired by this old
Oh, my
Italian
word.
phrase, super easy, bella non cavini. Pretty catchy, right?
Actually, no, that's not catchy at all.
Oh, you don't think so?
No, that's like super long to type. That's not the kind of thing that people are gonna take the time to write in our comment sections.
I kind of feel that's gonna be the main thing they write
Untrue.
in our comment section.
Well, okay then.
We could also have some other catchphrases too.
Nobody smiles that much. They look like crazy people.
All right, well, I guess I could just play the characters.
You would play both characters?
Yeah.
How would that even work?
Well, I do all the screenwriter lines and then all the studio lines and then edit them together.
But won't that just seem like a guy talking to himself?
No, because the screenwriter guy's gonna have glasses.
And that's gonna make you seem like a completely different person?
yeah, I mean, it works for Superman.
That's a good point.
Plus, I think if
Oh,
I
my
overlap
word.
the audio slightly, it's really gonna trick people's brains into thinking there's two of me.
What do you mean?
Well, if I let the audio of one version of me play over the footage of the other me, then it's really gonna blend together.
Oh, is that how you do it?
Right, because it's like, well, I'm hearing one guy, but I'm seeing the other, so there must be two people.
Very interesting. I didn't know you could do that. So where would you shoot these things?
Well, I figure I could just shoot them in front of a super low-budget green screen I have at home and just put a nice-looking office behind me.
Oh, you do it on a green screen.
Yeah, and I throw in some generic office sounds like a ringing phone that nobody answers.
Well, okay, just make sure to always remove the green screen.
Yeah, could you imagine if I forgot to do that?
That would completely break the illusion. Make sure you never forget.
Yeah, totally. That's super important. And hey, if you're only filming yourself from the waist,
Good job. Yeah, he deserves that. And I think that video I was looking at was about 4 years ago.
Oh yeah, he's
So-
been going for quite a while now.
Yeah, who can imagine you can make so many of those?
Every movie,
Which is
well, every blockbuster movie, maybe.
yeah. Good job though on his end. They're absolutely hilarious.
Sugar tastes good.
Sugar tastes good. He is right, and he does such a good job. You have to be honest, you have to be not only you have to be a very critical person to do that, you also have to be creative at the same time.
Yes.
And it's really difficult. So genuinely, kudos to him. I think that those are really, really funny.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, that's about it for the pitch meetings.
Yep. Nope. I mean, we can, if you guys want a part 3, like this video, comment. Don't.
Yeah, we'll throw honest trailers and maybe some how it should have ended.
Yeah, or if you want us to react to something else,
Send
let us-
videos.
send us videos or recommend a channel or something, and we'll look into it and we might do it. Like if there's popular demand and I have no choice, then I will do it for your views. I think that's it for today.
Please do it. I enjoy the suffering.
It's like the moral suffering that I have an issue with. Like, why do these get so many views and they shouldn't?
Wait, what's moral about that? I was about to stop the recording, and now I'm like, what is this comment?
No, I'm just saying that, like, we do episodes on really deep and serious things and we don't get as much views. And then we do this, and I'm just like, why? This doesn't deserve this much attention.
I guess it depends on how much other serious content people have taken in.
Fair enough. Well, hopefully this
We
brightens
hit our
someone's-
walls where we're like, we can't do any more of this, and we're
Yeah.
done.
Well, hopefully it'll brighten someone's day then.